Meet the masters. Norman Rockwell. Okay, so this is a first, just kind of a synopsis of what we're going to go over today. The kindergarten level is much easier. That's got this thing. They're going to color it in. Each of these things gets glued onto the colored paper. In the rest of the levels, they're going to be doing illustrations on these black circles that we're going to be cutting out. At the beginning level, it's just the name, the post, and then illustrated by, and then the drawing. At the intermediate level, it's the post. They'll have an extra square here where they'll write the name of the lead story, whatever they want it to be, and then their name, illustrated by. And then in the advanced level, it'll say the Saturday evening post. They're going to have this extra strip right here where they'll put the date and then the price, and then the price of the magazine, and then the circle that's got the illustrations, and then illustrated by. Okay, so we're going to go over just the more in detail now. All right, first things first, the artist profile slip, all of them, all the projects we've done have them. I know that in the instructions that you'll receive, it'll say to do that at the very end. I personally prefer to do that at the beginning because then they're not having to turn their artwork over and smearing it all over the table. So you're going to be taking this sheet of paper, and we have had to tape it because these were already cut. So they're going to be taking the sheet of paper, cutting it, folding it in half, right, to make it like, it's a magazine, right? It opens like a magazine, right? And so on what would be the back of the magazine, that's when they're going to glue this sheet of the artist profile slip. Okay, so that's the first thing. If it doesn't fit lengthwise, if it doesn't fit crosswise, put it on there lengthwise. It doesn't really matter. Okay, make sure that they put their name on it, the date, and I also like to add, ask them to put their teacher's name on it so that we can, if they get separated, like when we have them out, we'll know what classroom they need to go back to. Okay, so that's the first step on all of them. All right, so then the first part after they've secured their artist strip, and they've chosen their paper and folded it in half, is this part here. They're going to be writing, for the advanced level, the Saturday evening post. For the intermediate, beginning levels, they're going to be just writing the post. They're also going to be writing illustrated by down on the bottom. So, and you can make it look like a signature. It's a nice little pen mark. Okay. So, and in the advanced one, they're going to end up using this piece, right? What we want them to do now is we're going to have them take the black markers that you gave them and copy the words post for the intermediate and beginning classes and the words Saturday evening post. And it gives you two things so they can keep practicing it. If you find that you're in a class where they're not going to give you enough time and you're not going to have enough time, I would skip that and just cut this out and let them use that. Okay, but otherwise they're going to be writing the if they're happy with the very first one they write, that's absolutely fine. And it doesn't have to be in the same font as what you've got here. It doesn't have to be perfect. I always tell people all art is perfect. And it does not have to be perfect. Okay, so the Saturday evening post or the post depending on what they're doing. With the intermediate level one, once they're done writing down their letters, you've been way more fancy than mine. Once they're done writing down their letters for the intermediate one, they could start thinking about a title. They don't have to write that right out way. They can do that at the end once it's pasted in place. So once they've had a chance to practice, they can pick the one that they like best. If they don't like either of them, I don't have a problem with them picking this one, but ideally let's have them pick the one that they like best. And then they cut this, right, this way. Okay. And once they're done cutting, these things are going to be pasted onto the paper. Okay. But that is not all that there is, okay? So they're also going to receive, okay, so these will be cut like this. All right, next up is going to be a lot of just putting stuff together, right? So once they've got their Saturday evening post or post written out, okay, then they're going to take that and glue it. We're going to provide them each with some black strips of paper. Some are going to be 1 inch wide, some are going to be 3 inches wide. We're also going to provide them with black circles, right? Now, according to the instructions, they're supposed to cut out their own circles. I think we're going to be cutting these out in the interest of time because we always seem to run short. I'd rather have the kids spend more time drawing than cutting, okay? So that's what we're going to do. But if we decide that we're going to do cutting them, there are these stencils. There are 18 stencils the kids will have to share. They'll put it on this, and then they trace it with a pencil and then cut it into a circle, okay? All right, so all the cutting is done. We have used this stencil traced on the black construction paper with pencil and then cut out a circle for each of us, okay? In the advanced one, the next thing they're going to do is they're going to glue first their Saturday evening post to the middle of the 3 by 8 black piece of paper and the bigger paper. And then they're going to glue their illustrated by in the smaller paper, and that will end up on the bottom glued like that. And then this plain strip here is just going to come across here, okay? It's not going to go all the way to the ends, and that's okay. All right, and then on top of that will be this circle. Oops, I got to arrange here so everything fits. There you go. My paper is a little smaller. This one's a little smaller because it's the paper that we had. The paper that you guys are going to get is going to be more the appropriate size. Okay, you want to do the same, show them with that. The intermediate and beginning levels, it's going to have the post and the intermediate level. It will also have this bit here. They'll eventually make up a title for their story. And then at the bottom of the sheet, okay, they're illustrated by little masthead down at the bottom, all the way at the bottom of the sheet. Oh, there you go. And then the circle will be glued, okay, to the middle of it. Oops. Let's move that over here so that they can actually see the whole thing. Okay, so this is what we'll have. This is the advanced level 1, intermediate, and beginning levels here. Okay, and of course the kindergarten one's going to be on that white sheet, which will be glued on there. Okay, the order of events for gluing, you want them to glue the white sheets first that they colored to the black sheet. Okay, centered on there. Okay, and then I'll glue this to this. All right, so and then after we're done with that, then we'll glue all the black sheets to the main paper. Okay, so that's the order that they'll be doing it in. All right, just one quick detail for the advanced one. You do want, after they've, so this is the first part that they've glued. Before they glue down the black circle, you want them to take their black marker pen and outline just the bottom and the top. Make an extra line down along this bit here. It's supposed to make it stand out more. Okay, I would do that. You can have them do it before they glue it down or after they glue it down. I would do it after, but it's totally up to you. Okay, or up to, yeah, the instructors, whoever wants to do it. Okay, so I want to, oops, I just put an extra black line there. Okay, so that way you guys will see in a little bit why that makes it stand out a little bit better. Okay, it'll make the whole, this little section stand out. Okay, probably now that I'm doing it, it's probably better to make it black before they put it down. All right, so make sure that that whole edge part is black. Okay, and then they will glue this down like that in the middle. Alrighty, once they've got their whole landscape put together, right, then the fun part happens. Have them choose a theme. And from themes, we're talking about a season, right? So winter, spring, summer, fall, have them choose a season and then write or draw some kind of scene that has to do with that. And the advanced levels, of course, on this white part, then at the end, I'm going to put the date right here and a price like 35 cents or something like that right over on this side. For the intermediate level, they're going to decide on a title, which will then go up in this top section, which can't quite be seen. There we go. So in this top section over here, okay, is where the title of the whole article is going to, supposed article that's being illustrated is going to be, okay? So this will all happen with oil pastels, and you can see we've got the old broken up oil pastels. I understand that we have a bunch of new beautiful clean ones on order, so you guys should have those, okay? And then we get to illustrating. All right, so we are pretty much almost done here. You can see I've already written the date and then the price, 35 cents. I recommend having the kids write this stuff in pencil first and then go over it in pen. Same thing with this part. When they're ready to go to final, I think they should write it in pencil first and then color it in with the black pen. You could see she's doing that with her title. Writing it first in pencil and then in pen. We'll show you final products in a moment. All right, and here are our final products. Here we have spring and summer as our themes. Okay, you can see again, I have the date here and the price here for the advanced one that says the Saturday Evening Post. And then she has the intermediate one, which is just the Post. She's got the summer theme, and you could see she's written the title, What Frozen Things Do in Summer, is her title for her magazine. Okay, and that's all there is to it. It does end up being like an open magazine that they can keep in the instructions. It says if they want to put stuff in it to make it feel like a magazine, they can do that, put stories or whatever in it for collection. But anyway, that's the project. Have fun, you guys, and always you can email me if you have questions. All of this and all of the materials that you'll need copies of will be posted on in the Google Drive.